Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about modern coins in the collector world. It's the 1980 P. Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks just like any ordinary quarter you've probably seen hundreds of times. But this coin hides a story of unexpected value, mystery, and even a jaw-dropping figure that's been making the rounds in the collecting community. That number is $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A quarter from 1980, minted in Philadelphia, is rumored to have sold for up to $1.5 million. So what makes this coin so special? Could it really be worth that much? And is there a chance that one of these coins is sitting unnoticed in your pocket, your coin jar, or maybe in a drawer somewhere at home? Let's find out. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, it features the bust of Washington on the front and an eagle with wings spread wide on the back. This design remained in use for many decades and became one of the most familiar coins in America. By 1980, the Washington quarter had already seen decades of circulation, and in that year, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 635 million of them. That's a huge number. So naturally, most people assume that a 1980 quarter is common and not worth more than its face value of 25 cents. But as with many things in the world of coin collecting, the real value is often hidden in the details. So let's talk about what sets the 1980 P. Washington quarter apart from the rest. First, the P mint mark on this coin stands for Philadelphia. That's important because mint location can play a major role in rarity and collectability. While there were millions of coins produced, finding one in near-perfect condition is far more difficult than you might think. Most of the 1980 quarters were used in daily transactions. They were passed through cash registers, dropped on the ground, handled, scratched, and worn down. Now here's where things get interesting. In recent years, collectors have been searching for high-grade examples of the 1980 P. Washington quarter. A few of these have surfaced in pristine condition, with incredible details, flawless surfaces, and strong strikes. Coins like these are often graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. And when one of these coins is graded MS67 or higher, the value skyrockets. One coin in particular stood out from the rest. It was a 1980 P quarter with an unusually strong strike, nearly perfect surfaces, and virtually no signs of wear. It was described by experts as one of the best preserved examples ever discovered. According to collectors' reports, this coin was sold in a private transaction for up to $1.5 million. Whether or not this figure is completely verified, the story has brought major attention to this overlooked coin. What could justify such a massive value for what was originally just 25 cents? There are a few key factors. First, rarity and high condition. Even though hundreds of millions were made, finding a flawless example is extremely rare. Second, historical interest. Coins from this era are starting to gain more attention as collectors focus on late 20th century coins. Third, the possibility of mint errors. Some 1980 P quarters may have unique characteristics like doubling, off-center strikes, or being struck on the wrong planchet, which means the wrong metal blank was used. These kinds of mint errors can dramatically raise a coin's value. And there's another factor that cannot be ignored. The collector market is driven by demand and storytelling. A coin becomes legendary not just because it is rare, but because of the buzz around it, the mystery, the rumors of million-dollar price tags, and the thrill of the hunt. Once a coin like the 1980 P quarter becomes part of that narrative, its fame and value can grow beyond expectations. What should you do if you find a 1980 P quarter? First, examine it closely. Look at the date and make sure there is a P under the bust of Washington. Next, check the condition. Does it still have its original shine? Are the details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers sharp and crisp? If so, it might be worth something. If the coin looks uncirculated or even close to mint condition, you might want to consider having it graded by a professional service. A grade of MS65 or higher can already add value, but a grade of MS67 or above puts you in elite territory, and that's where the serious money starts to come in. Also, look for anything unusual. Is the coin perfectly round? Is the strike off-center? Are any of the letters or numbers doubled? These could be signs of valuable mint errors. And here's a word of caution. Never clean your coin. Many people make the mistake of trying to polish a coin to make it look newer. But cleaning a coin actually reduces its value. Collectors want original coins in their natural state. Even if they have some discoloration or tarnish to SO, is the 1980 P Washington quarter really worth $1.5 million? For the average coin, probably not. But for that one ultra-rare example in perfect condition, possibly with an error or unique strike, it just might be. Whether or not that specific sale was real or exaggerated, it has definitely made people start looking more closely at their change. The important thing to remember is that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. The next valuable coin could be sitting in your pocket right now. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's not just about money. It's about discovery, history, and the thrill of finding something rare when you least expect it. Thanks for joining me today as we explored the mystery and the value behind the 1980 P Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this video and want more stories about rare coins, valuable finds, and how to spot treasures in your own collection, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare quarter or if you're going to start checking your change a little more carefully from now on. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes open. You never know when a simple coin could turn out to be a $1 million discovery. If you'd like a follow-up version tailored for shorts, visual cuts, or narrated voiceover, I can help you build that out too. Let me know what kind of channel you're building, and I can help tailor your tone and content style. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today we are taking a deep dive into a coin that many people overlook every single day. It's a Washington quarter from 1990, specifically the 1990 D, minted in Denver. At first glance, this might seem like just another ordinary quarter, something you toss into a vending machine or find in your couch cushions. But hidden within the millions that were minted, there's a story of one coin that has been rumored to be worth as much as $1.6 million. That's right. A coin you might have in your pocket right now could be worth a life-changing amount of money. So what makes the 1990 D Washington quarter so special? Could it really be worth over $1 million? And more importantly, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare coins? Let's start with the background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The original design by John Flanagan featured a profile of Washington on the front, or obverse, and a majestic bald eagle on the reverse. That design became a classic, circulating for decades and forming part of daily American life. In 1990, the Mint continued producing Washington quarters with the traditional eagle design. These were the final years before the 50-state quarters program would begin in 1999 and change the face of the quarter forever. So coins from this era are part of the last run of the classic Washington eagle reverse. The Denver Mint, represented by the letter D on the coin, produced over 927 million quarters in 1990. That's nearly a billion coins. So it would be easy to assume that all of them are common and not worth more than 25 cents. And for the majority of them, that's true. But in the world of coin collecting, it's not just about how many coins were made. It's about how many survived in exceptional condition or how many were struck with rare and unusual characteristics. This brings us to the mystery that has caught the attention of collectors all over the country. Reports have surfaced about a 1990 D Washington quarter that was found in nearly flawless condition. What made it truly extraordinary was a rare and dramatic mint error. According to some sources, this particular coin was struck on a transitional planchet or possibly even on a foreign blank, making it one of a kind. Combine that with a pristine mint state grade and you've got a coin that isn't just rare, it's legendary. The story goes that this rare 1990 D quarter changed hands in a private sale for up to $1.6 million. While the exact details of the transaction remain largely unconfirmed in public records, the rumor has created a buzz in the numismatic community and sparked a rush of interest in coins from this era. What would it take for a 1990 D quarter to be worth that kind of money? Let's break it down. First, condition is absolutely everything. Most coins from 1990 have been in circulation for decades. They've been dropped, scratched, rubbed down, and worn out. But a coin that has been preserved in perfect condition, showing no signs of wear and maintaining its original luster, can be graded as mint state. Coins graded at MS-67 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC can already be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The higher the grade, the more the value increases, and at the top, prices can get jaw-dropping. Second, the value skyrockets when you introduce a rare mint error. A coin that was double struck, struck off-center, or struck on the wrong metal blank becomes instantly desirable to collectors. These are not manufacturing defects in the traditional sense. They're accidents that create one-of-a-kind coins. And when they happen to a common coin like a 1990 D quarter, they stand out even more. Third, timing and market demand play a huge role. Sometimes the collector community rallies around a story, and the myth or legend surrounding a coin drives its price into record-breaking territory. A rare coin with a great backstory, like being the last known example of a unique mint error, can command prices that are fueled not just by rarity, but by the emotional excitement of owning a piece of history. So if you're thinking, could I have a valuable 1990 D quarter in my own collection? Here's what you need to do. Start by checking the date. You're looking for a quarter with 1990 on the front and a small D under the bust of George Washington. That D means it was minted in Denver. Next, examine the coin's condition. Is it shiny and clean with sharp details? Are Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers clearly visible and crisp? If it looks like it just came from the mint, you may be holding a mint state coin. Be careful though, never clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin its surface and significantly lower the value. Collectors and grading companies prefer coins in their original, untouched condition. After that, look for any signs of an error. Is the coin slightly off-center? Do the letters or numbers appear doubled? Is the metal color different from a normal quarter? Is the edge thicker or thinner than usual? These could all be signs of a minting mistake. And that could be your ticket to a big payday. And if you think you found something interesting, consider sending your coin to a professional grading company for authentication and grading. Services like PCGS and NGC can help determine its grade and confirm if it has any rare errors. A high-grade coin with a rare feature is what turns a common quarter into a collector's dream. Now it's important to keep your expectations realistic. Most 1990 D quarters, even in decent shape, are worth only a few cents or a few dollars. But the excitement is in the possibility, the hunt, the idea that one extraordinary coin could still be out there, hiding in someone's old change jar, completely unnoticed. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's not just about the money. It's about the mystery, the history, the hunt for hidden treasure in the most ordinary places. Because in the world of coins, every single one tells a story. And some stories are worth more than gold. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more stories about rare and valuable coins, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Drop a comment below if you've ever found an interesting or valuable coin in your change. Who knows, maybe your story will be the next one we feature. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and always check your change. Because that next coin you find could be worth $1.6 million. Let me know if you'd like a follow-up version for YouTube Shorts, voiceover pacing, or visual editing cues. Happy to help you build out the rest of your channel content. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. If you're into coin collecting, hidden treasures, or just curious about the spare change sitting in your pocket, then you're in the right place. Because today, we're looking at a Washington quarter that most people completely overlook. It's the 1997 P Washington quarter, a coin so common, you probably wouldn't think twice about it. But hold on, because there's a version of this coin that has been rumored to be worth as much as $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.2 million for a single quarter from 1997. So the question is, what makes this coin so special? What's the history behind it? And could you possibly have one without even knowing it? Let's dig into the facts, the mystery, and the money behind the 1997 P Washington quarter. To understand the value of this coin, we have to first understand where it came from. The Washington quarter has been a part of American coinage since 1932. It was originally designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The front of the coin features a portrait of Washington based on a bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon, while the reverse shows a bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches. That classic design by John Flanagan remained unchanged for decades. By 1997, The Washington quarter was still in circulation with its original eagle reverse. But that was about to change. In just 2 years, the U.S. Mint would launch the 50-state quarters program in 1999, which would forever change how Americans looked at quarters. So in many ways, the 1997 Washington quarter represents the end of an era. It was one of the final coins before the state quarter series began. The 1997 P quarter was minted in Philadelphia, and the P mint mark can be found just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 595 million quarters. That's a huge number, and it means most of them are extremely common. But, as we always say in the world of coin collecting, it's not about how many were made. It's about how many survived in perfect condition, and whether any were struck with unusual characteristics. This brings us to the million-dollar story. Rumors in the collecting world started circulating about an ultra-rare 1997 P quarter that was not only in perfect condition, but also featured an extraordinary mint error. The coin was reportedly struck on the wrong planchet, possibly a foreign blank or a transitional error. Combine that kind of error with an uncirculated or mint state condition, and suddenly, you have a one-of-a-kind piece. According to Coin Community Whispers, one of these coins was sold in a private transaction for up to $1.2 million. While this number hasn't been publicly verified, the story exploded online and sparked a wave of interest in 1997 quarters. Collectors began checking their coins more closely. Dealers started getting more questions. And casual hobbyists suddenly became treasure hunters to what would make a 1997 P quarter worth that much money? Let's break it down. First, condition matters more than anything. A coin that is uncirculated and graded by a professional company like PCGS or NGC could be worth significantly more than one pulled from circulation. If a coin is graded MS67 or higher, it becomes part of a very small elite group, and that alone can raise its value to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Second, errors are the true wildcards. Coins that are misstruck, double-struck, off-center, struck on the wrong planchet, or missing key design elements can be extremely valuable. In the case of the rumored million-dollar coin, the story is that it had both a mint error and an incredibly high grade. That rare combination is what would drive the value up so dramatically. Third, market demand plays a big role. Sometimes a coin becomes legendary simply because of a story, a rumor, or a unique auction result. Collectors want what others are chasing. And when only one or two examples of a certain error exist, that demand can push prices into the stratosphere. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if my 1997 P quarter is worth something? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. It must say 1997. Then check the mint mark. It should have a small P next to Washington's ponytail. Next, examine the condition. Does it still have its original luster? Is it free of scratches, nicks, or wear? If so, you may have something valuable. After that, look for anything strange. Are the letters or numbers doubled? Is the design off-center? Is the rim unusually wide or narrow? Is the coin thinner or thicker than normal? Does it feel or sound different when dropped? These could all be signs of a mint error or an unusual planchet. If you find a coin that checks some of these boxes, don't clean it. That's the biggest mistake new collectors make. Cleaning a coin destroys its surface and can wipe away thousands of dollars in value. Instead, place it in a soft holder or plastic flip and consider sending it to a professional grading service for evaluation. So, is every 1997 P quarter worth a fortune? No. Most are only worth face value. Some in excellent condition may bring in a few dollars to a few hundred depending on their grade. But if you have the right combination, a rare error and mint state condition, you could be sitting on a serious payday. And even if you don't find a million-dollar quarter, the hunt itself is part of the fun. Every coin has a story. Every coin connects us to a moment in history. And every once in a while, someone finds something truly special. That's why coin collecting never gets old. It's one of the only hobbies where your next big find could literally be in your pocket change. You don't need a metal detector or special tools. You just need a sharp eye and a little curiosity. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1997 P Washington quarter and the mystery of the $1.2 million coin. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another story from the world of rare coins. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a 1997 quarter or if you found any cool mint errors. I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep checking your change, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe your next coin could be worth over $1 million. Let me know if you want help with a voiceover guide, short version for YouTube Shorts, or visual suggestions for video editing. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a coin that has surprised collectors, shocked the internet, and could very well be sitting unnoticed in someone's pocket right now. It's the 1983 P. Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter. But behind this little piece of change lies a fascinating story of history, rarity, and possibly a value of up to $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.4 million for a 25-cent coin. Let's go back to the beginning and understand what makes this coin so special. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932. It was originally designed by John Flanagan to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. The design features Washington's profile on the front, or obverse, and an eagle with outstretched wings on the back, or reverse. It's a classic look that generations of Americans have used, saved, and overlooked. Fast forward to 1983. That year, the United States Mint was still recovering from the economic challenges of the early 1980s. And for collectors, something important happened. The U.S. Mint did not produce official mint sets in 1982 or 1983. That decision made a huge impact later on, because without those mint sets, it became much harder for collectors to get pristine examples of coins from those years. That includes the 1983 P quarter. Now let's talk about the coin itself. The 1983 P Washington quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The letter P stands for Philadelphia. Over 673 million of these quarters were produced. That sounds like a massive number, and it is. But here's the catch. Most of them were circulated heavily. That means they were used in vending machines, carried in pockets, and worn down over time. So finding one in perfect or near-perfect condition today is actually very difficult. What really made headlines was the discovery of a 1983 P quarter in unbelievably high grade. This coin showed an incredibly sharp strike, perfect detail, and no signs of wear. It was graded by a top professional coin grading service as one of the finest examples ever found. And it wasn't just the condition that made it special. There were also signs that it had been struck with fresh dyes, meaning the coin's image was sharp, crisp, and bold. The fields were clean. The details in Washington's hair and the feathers of the eagle were flawless. That particular coin ended up selling in a private sale for a reported $1.4 million. It was one of the most expensive modern coins ever sold. Now let's be clear. Most 1983 P quarters are not worth $1 million. In fact, most are still worth face value, 25 cents. But if you find one in mint state condition, especially graded MS66 or higher, it can be worth hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. And if it has unique features like a full strike, no blemishes, or certain mint errors, the value can climb even higher. Collectors also keep an eye out for errors or varieties. These are mistakes made during the minting process that can make a coin much more valuable. While the 1983 P quarter is not known for having a famous double die or off-center strike, some examples with die cracks, weak strikes, or clash dies have sold for a premium. Even small differences can make a big impact on a coin's value. So how can you tell if your 1983 P quarter is valuable? First, check the condition. Look closely at the coin. Does it have sharp details? Is there any wear or discoloration? If it looks like it's in great shape, it might be worth sending to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate the coin, give it a numeric grade, and seal it in a case for protection. If the grade is high enough, you might have a valuable coin on your hands. Also, never clean your coins. Cleaning can damage the surface and actually lower the value. Collectors want original coins with natural patina and luster, not ones that have been scrubbed or polished. Another reason the 1983 P quarter is so special is because it's from a transitional time in U.S. coin production. The early 1980s were full of changes, both in the economy and at the mint. There were coin shortages, shifts in materials, and major changes in how coins were packaged and sold to the public. All of these factors contributed to the rarity and collector interest we see today. And let's not forget the thrill of the hunt. Coin collecting is one of the few hobbies where you can make real money just by paying attention to the change in your pocket. There are stories of people finding valuable coins in parking lots, thrift store cash drawers, or even inside old coin jars at home. So next time you get change at the store, take a second to look at your quarters. Flip them over. Check the date. If you see 1983 and AP mint mark, set it aside and take a closer look. You never know what you might find. To wrap this up, the 1983 P. Washington quarter is more than just pocket change. It's a piece of history, a mystery in the world of modern coins, and for one lucky owner, a coin worth over $1 million. It's a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary-looking things can hold the biggest surprises. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the surprising value of everyday objects. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin, and keep checking that change. Your $1 million quarter might be closer than you think. See you next time. Would you like a version of this script adapted for use with visuals or voiceover pacing? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that might look like something you've seen hundreds of times before, but has a story that could blow your mind. We're diving deep into the 1988 D. Washington quarter. That's right, a simple quarter from 1988, minted in Denver, that some people believe could be worth up to $1.3 million. Sounds crazy? Let's break it down and find out what makes this coin so special. Now, first off, let's talk a little bit about the Washington quarter itself. This coin design was first introduced back in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The coin was designed by John Flanagan and features Washington's side profile on the front, or obverse, and a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings on the back, or reverse. This design remained mostly unchanged for decades and became one of the most familiar pieces of American coinage. Fast forward to 1988. This was a time when the United States Mint was producing hundreds of millions of coins every year. The Denver Mint, represented by the small d mint mark, struck over 586 million Washington quarters that year alone. That's a huge number. With so many coins made, it's easy to assume they're all common and not worth much. And for the most part, that's true. Most 1988 D quarters you come across today are only worth their face value of 25 cents. But every now and then, something unusual shows up. Now let's talk about where the real excitement begins. A small number of 1988 D. Washington quarters have surfaced in extraordinary condition or with rare mint errors that have shocked collectors. One of these coins, in absolutely pristine condition with an incredible error or a perfect strike, was reportedly sold in a private transaction for up to $1.3 million. That figure turned heads across the coin collecting world. While the exact details of that particular sale are hard to verify publicly, it sparked a new wave of interest in the 1988 D quartered S. What could make a common coin like this worth so much money? There are a few major factors. First, condition is everything. Most coins you find in circulation have scratches, wear, discoloration, or damage. But a coin in what's called mint state condition, meaning it looks like it just left the mint with no signs of wear, can be worth significantly more. If a 1988 D quarter is graded at MS 67 or higher, especially with full details and original luster, it becomes extremely desirable to collectors. Some of these high-grade examples have sold at auction for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Certain rare errors can boost the value even more. Things like off-center strikes, doubled dies, or misaligned dies can create one-of-a-kind coins. Collectors love these unique pieces because they're incredibly hard to find and no two are exactly the same. If a 1988 D quarter has a significant mint error and is in top condition, it can command jaw-dropping prices. There are also rumors in the coin world about a 1988 D quarter that was struck on the wrong planchet. That means the quarter was accidentally made using the metal blank mint for another coin, like a nickel or even a foreign coin. These types of errors are extremely rare and can make a coin incredibly valuable, especially when authenticated by a major grading company. So how can you tell if your 1988 D quarter might be worth more than face value? First, check the date and mint mark. Look for 1988 on the front of the coin and a small D below Washington's portrait. That D means it was minted in Denver. Next, examine the condition. Does the coin still have its original shine? Are there any noticeable scratches or wear? If it looks brand new, you may have something special. If you think the coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, it could be worth getting graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Also, check for any unusual features. Is the design perfectly centered? Do any of the letters or numbers look doubled or blurry? Is there anything strange about the edge of the coin? These might be signs of a mint error, which could increase the value significantly. Here's something important to remember. Never clean your coins. Cleaning a coin can damage the surface and actually reduce its value. Even if it looks dirty or dull, leave it as is. Collectors and grading companies prefer coins in their original, untouched state. The story of the 1988 D quarter is a great reminder that even the most ordinary-looking coins can be hiding extraordinary value. While the majority of these coins are still only worth a quarter, there are rare examples out there that are worth thousands, and in one rumored case, even over $1 million. Whether that $1.3 million sale is fully confirmed or not, the excitement it created is very real. It shows us that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Every time you check your change or open a drawer full of old coins, you're taking part in a treasure hunt. And the best part is, it doesn't cost a thing to start. So if you've got any 1988 D quarters lying around, give them a closer look. Who knows? You might be holding on to a hidden gem. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more stories about rare coins, valuable finds, and tips for coin collectors of all levels, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comments if you've ever found an interesting coin in your pocket change. Until next time, happy hunting and keep checking those coins. If you'd like, I can also help you create a shorter version for YouTube Shorts or a version with cues for visuals, voiceover pacing, or on-screen text suggestions. Let me know how you're planning to present the video, and I'll help tailor it.